What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to give some help out to anyone playing Hogwarts Legacy by showing you a few mistakes that I made in my playthrough and what you could do to avoid those mistakes. Some of these mistakes are undoable, so definitely keep that in mind. Try not to mess up your playthrough. One of the first things I want to point out is that the console that you buy the game on matters. If you have a PS5, do yourself a favor and get it there. I got it on the Series X instead of PS5 and completely missed out on one of the best quests in the game. If you only have an Xbox or PC, I'm not saying go buy a PS5 because you'll be able to play this quest next year, but if you do have a PlayStation 5, I would prioritize it on there because that quest, from everything I've seen, just looks awesome. Something else I wanted to point out was that the house matters a little bit, but it's nothing too crazy. You do get one story-specific mission for each house, so keep that in mind before you select one. They're not really like unique quests. I mean, it's just a different variation of each quest. If you're trying to go to Azkaban, pick Hufflepuff. Slytherin has you introduced to a ghost through a house elf. Gryffindor has a quest that leads you to a different ghost. It's nothing too crazy, to be honest. Hufflepuff might really have the best version of that quest. But then, I mean, you end up as a Hufflepuff, so. Another mistake I made was actually upgrading my character. Out of all the mistakes, this is possibly the largest one that you could make, so just plan out your character beforehand. You're going to be unlocking your upgrades, and then you can allocate your skill points there. There is no respec system at any time in this game, at least so far, since I filmed this video. You also can't max out your character and get every skill point. You're capped at level 40, meaning 8 skill points will just not be used at all. I would prioritize skills that are powerful and don't waste those skill points at all. I found that the best spells to upgrade are Descendo, Diffindo, Glacio, and Accio. You don't have to use those exact spells, but I mean that and Crucio, those curses are insanely powerful, and I would definitely prioritize them through your playthrough. Mixing Glacio and Diffindo, for example, basically almost one-shots enemies. Something that I screwed up on was that I was honestly just upgrading everything, and I just thought, I'm going to max out this game, and I'm going to just upgrade my character all the way. Little to find out that I'm screwed, and I can't do that. Mistake number 3 is starting side missions just a little too early. In the beginning, I found myself overwhelmed with collectibles, hidden rooms, and side missions. Hogwarts is huge, and it takes forever to get from point A to point B until you get your broom. Big tip here is to just try and progress the main story to where you get your broom, just to make that quality of life a little better during the beginning of the game. Side missions aren't wasteful at all, they just get a lot easier to get done when you can fly around. Fourth mistake I want to point out was just not upgrading my gear at all. Don't get me wrong, you can get through the game on normal just going through with the gear you find, but once you unlock the Room of Requirement and the Fantastic Beasts, don't neglect those upgrades. You can quickly farm material and upgrade your legendary gear up to 3 times. It's a lot more effective than randomly just opening chests and hoping you get a really good item. My suggestion is like every 5 or 8 levels, go to the Room of Requirement, try to upgrade your gear as high as possible. It'll just make your character not only stronger, but it'll really help with combat to where you're not just spamming spells on people. And then while you're there, tweak the slots to suit what spells you use. Make your wizard even more OP. If you're using fire a lot, add those fire bonuses. My 5th and final mistake in Hogwarts Legacy is skipping out on side missions. So I know this goes counter to what I said earlier. Try to get that broom just to make those side missions easier, but don't skip side missions in general. This is an open world game that I really think you should enjoy. You don't have to find every collectible, you don't have to find every secret, although it does help with cosmetics, but don't neglect some of those side missions for the easy XP and some really cool storylines that I thought were a lot better than the main story. Getting through Hogwarts in full should be your goal, and some side missions like Sebastian's even lead to curses that are one of the strongest spells in the game. To wrap things up, I know I definitely missed some things during my playthrough, and I can't wait to fully 100% this game. Rarely do I find a game that I want to max out completely, but I've just had so much fun with this one, I just want to keep going. Drop a comment, let me know what tips you have for any new players. Was there anything that you regret doing in your playthrough? Any spells and upgrades that just ended up useless? By the way, don't forget to hit like if you liked the video. All the interactions here help us beat that YouTube algorithm as a new and growing channel. I appreciate all the support, and I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks.